Welcome back. It's Crystal Tottenham here, again from Crystal Clear Coaching. We are on, oh gosh, is it day 5? Yeah, day 5 of 31 days of posting with flow. What I mean by that is that I'm showing up and talking about tuning in to yourself and your inner world for 31 days. And we are just flowing with what comes out that day. And today I actually just want to pick back up on what I was talking about in yesterday's video. I'll try and put the link somewhere to share it with you if you haven't seen it. I found myself writing the caption when I was uploading it and saw that there was more nuance that I wanted to add to it. So I'm just going to read out that caption from that video and then I'll add to that as well for today's session. So we were talking about how the subconscious mind records everything, every tiny detail around us. If we're just putting it down to just visually, for instance, which is only a small part of the picture, just recording in any one present moment the amount of detail around you, like how many bricks are on the wall, the different tones of each brick. I used an example of the chips on my nails, like the different the fibers of my jumper, the blades of grass I can see in front of me, all that, trying to record all that and write it out or say it out loud would take you so long, maybe even forever. And yet your subconscious brain is recording that at any given moment, and all that information is just then leads to you being able to have your intuition, and it's the subconscious that then pops up when there is something that feels like a little bit of a red light or red flag situation. It's usually because there's something in the subconscious that tells you, like, oh, wait, there's something off. You can't necessarily put your finger on it immediately, but usually it's when you look back, you can see, actually, this makes sense that this happened because I saw that red flag earlier, but I didn't consciously see it. I just noticed it subconsciously. And so having these, you just think about how much any one person in any one moment has recorded, and they're just their subconscious, and then, not even adding all the other like our conscious minds and what we hear and what we feel and all our wholeness ways of perceiving the world. And we then go and make snap judgments about somebody else's experience and what's right for them, and it's very easy to stick your nose in other people's business if you think they're choosing wrong, but you just can't know the nuance of someone's lived experience, and you can't know why they make the choices they do. And sometimes it might be a subconscious sabotage pattern that is actually not serving them, that if they sat down and looked at it, they'd realize they don't want to act in that way, but they've got to discover that for themselves. So even if your best mate, your best friend in the whole world, the person you speak to the most, that you've known your entire life if you're lucky, and felt like I had, mostly daily updates from their lived experience, there's still not nuance of different conversations and energies they've been in and interactions they've had, and the feeling of like absolute despair when they've had a horrible moment that feels like their world is falling apart, or the opposite, when they have a wonderful moment where it feels like everything is wonderful and they feel so alive. Without all that information, we can only be told a very surface level version of things, even with our deepest relationships. And so my point is, can you see that describing, I'll go on to the caption now, can you see that properly describing even the tiniest snapshot of someone else's perspective is kind of an impossible task. It's hard enough to, like, code everything and notice all that information you've got in your brain from your perspective and your energy over your lifetime, all the people, places, things you've done, seen, everything. Like, it's hard enough to just tune into that, but that's under your control, at least, and that's the information that serves you, whether good or bad. The stuff that feels bad is just telling you that's not the direction you want to go in. If you think of it like that, well, it's like, well, what feels good? How can I go in those directions more? How can I follow that lit up feeling more? Yeah, so can you see that properly describing even the tiniest snapshot of someone else's perspective is an impossible task? So surely those around you are making the best decisions from their personal perspective, from their experiences, and their known and unknown subconscious patterns, as well as all, the other ways that we perceive things, hear things, feel things, all the senses. It's just like there's no way you could fully make a better choice for someone else than they can for themselves, is my point. So if you're, and this is what it comes back to, if you're asking everyone else for their opinion on your life, or you're only taking on everyone else's opinion for your life, can you see how they can't actually see all the nuance and the perspective that you have, and the things that really made you feel so joyful and happy, and the things that have just left you in utter despair? Like, as much as you may have described it to them, even your best friend in the world, there's just no way that they could possibly know better than you for what's best for your life. And this is like so important, and we're so taught to outsource our worth, seek external validation, essentially. So whether it's through needing praise, it's wonderful to get praise, but if you're finding that you need it in order to survive, and you're in absolute despair when you don't have it, how does that feel? Do you want to live by that? Do you want to release all your control in the world for your own life to other people's praise? What happens if you have a season of life where the praise isn't there? It's not coming. Does that leave you feeling utterly despondent? Do you want to live a life like that? I'm hoping these are all rhetorical questions, but I would hope not. I would hope you can choose to see, when you get to make those decisions for yourself, and slowly learn bit by bit. It's not an overnight process, learning to trust yourself and your own intuition, but can you see how it's actually crazy to just outsource our worth like that? Outsource, if it feel like only the external can tell us what's right. Right, I've got halfway through this caption, so yeah, if the people are making the best decisions from their personal perspective, from their experiences, and known and unknown subconscious patterns, conscious patterns, what they've heard, what they've felt, etc., etc. Even if their decisions feel wrong to you, can you see that there's often more nuance to one person's personal journey and perspective, and that if you were to be given the same exact life experience, you may make the same wrong, quote-unquote, decisions due to that difference in perspective? And even if you did it, but can you see how it could? Even if you feel like you wouldn't, can you see how you could? And then, just think about, how can we possibly discern another person's perspective completely? there's no way. You can barely discern your own perspective completely. That's why you're looking for external validation. So it's just so much information. It takes time and sitting with yourself and tuning in. So please, create habits for yourself to do so. It's so important. I want you to do what is right for you in this life, and through that will create a ripple effect with the world of more people taking that as a permission slip. Yes, it might be external validation, but taking that external validation permission slip to then tune into themselves and then light themselves up from the inside out, and then put whatever creations, whatever loving energy, lit up energy into the world that excites them. Don't you want that for the world? Imagine if everyone was doing this and actually tuning into themselves and really trusting themselves and their intuition, and noticing when something feels off and redirecting. Maybe there'd be someone to reach out for help sooner if they're in a dark space. And I'm not saying that you won't ever enjoy external validation, because likelihood is you always will, but don't let it be the thing that you need. Let it be the thing that is nice to have. So, could we choose to give others grace for their perspective, their choices in life, and just focus on our own darn business? Can you see how you might have misunderstood, how others may have misunderstood you, not having had your personal experiences and the nuances of your perspective on what's the best path for your best and highest in your damn life? I just had a lot more to say on that. I feel like it's just going to keep unfolding, but that's the joy of this. I'm really actually enjoying this this platform, to be able to talk just a little bit longer than some of the other social media sites, and just really go deep on things. Please tune into yourself. Please find those ways. Please find that inner trust for yourself, so you get to learn more about yourself. Learn what excites you if you don't feel like you know yet, or if you do know, then go for it. If you can't fully go for it because of obligations and commitments right now, can you find the grace in saying, well, I'm happy to honor my commitments for now because integrity is very important, but I want to make sure that I'm planning for the next season where I have moved on for these obligations, and I know what lights me up and how I'm going to put that into it. And also, maybe you can find things that light you up in smaller ways that you can fit into your current schedule and life. So tell me what you think. If anything came up for you in this session, I want this for you. I want you to really be able to tune in, trust yourself, and then prove to yourself through every day, slowly, over every day, every month, every week, every month, every year, just to see, slowly prove to yourself, I can trust what's right for me. And then you get to make quick decisions that are completely aligned with you, or at least 99% aligned with you. Sometimes you get an opportunity and you've got to say either yes or no in that moment. And if you know your truth and your why, what's most important to you, what lights you up in that moment, it'll be an easy yes or no in theory. There might be some instances where it's a bit more complicated than that, and it just depends on time available and scheduling and all that. But yeah, it's only you can do this work for yourself to train yourself to find that trust for yourself. And then having that self-trust leads to you just being able to own your own worth. And side note, we are all inherently worthy. We don't need to do anything to earn that. We are born worthy. We will stay worthy. I don't care what dark depths you might feel that you're in. You are worthy of going for what you love in life. If there's some places you need to restore your integrity in life, great, do so. But do what you can to find those pockets of light that you can follow. And the bigger you can make the pockets, great. Maybe it will become like the majority of your time is doing things that just light you up and excite you, and hopefully are of service to others as well. But you have to, put your own seatbelt on before you put on someone else's, or maybe the better analogy is put on your own mask in the airplane before you help others that need help, because you're not very much use to them if you're already carked it because you hadn't bothered to look after yourself first. So it's just a great analogy for that. You may have seen a reflection of the dog, but that's just Bailey saying hi. We'll leave it there for today. But yeah, excited to continue this conversation. And it's interesting because I'm doing this fully aware that currently no one is watching it, but that's okay. Like, I'm enjoying and learning so much from myself and realizing how much I have to share for others to truly tune into themselves. To think I only picked one topic, like I could talk on so many other topics too. But yeah, maybe I'll make a habit of doing a month of different topics. Could be really fun. We'll see. But there is, so much. I'm enjoying this, and the great thing about YouTube is that it'll stay on here, and maybe nothing will happen for a while. But if somebody finds it, and you're in the future, and you can see that I've got a bunch of numbers, well, how exciting! You get to know that before I do. So. Congratulations. That's so cool. And hopefully you're learning something for yourself, and next time you go asking everyone else for their opinions on your life, you actually take a moment to think, what do I want? What feels best to me? And then you question, do I need these opinions? Maybe you just want them, and maybe you can also still ask them. It's still good to have feedback, but no, I'd ask that question of yourself first. What is my gut feeling? What's my intuition? All the subconscious, all the energetics of what is going on in my vessel, what's it telling me? Is it a yes or a no? The feeling is what you should follow, whether it's yay or nay. But sometimes you just don't have enough data, and you don't actually know enough about the question you're asking. So you actually do need to do a bit more research, and that's when it's great to, ask for help. And it's also good to ask opinions of the loved ones whose life it may affect if you say yes to certain things. So of course there is that as well. So it's, there's always nuance to it and discernment, but you got this. You can trust yourself. And if you don't feel like you can just yet, that's okay. You can learn to trust yourself. All right, signing off. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.